Okay, so like maybe like a long time ago, months ago at this point, I saw a tweet of someone playing against General Ferrous Rokiric and Kiora Behemoth Beckoner. And I was blown away. Where Kiora, of course, multicolored card for Rokiric, but every single time you cast a multicolor spell with Rokiric and a Kiora in play, you get to draw a card, and you get to find more multicolor spells, and you keep getting to draw a card, which puts another Golem into play, which draws a card. It's crazy. It's just like really, really, really sweet. And so we've even talked a little bit about this deck on stream, and I've had a few different drafts trying to build around Rokiric plus Kiora. And for the most part in these shells, I want to play Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl, mostly Utopia Sprawl, but obviously Arbor Elf is a natural card to pair with it, and this lets you also play Rokiric on turn 2, which is pretty good. But since this lets you power out Kiora faster too, and Kiora can untap Utopia Sprawl to give you a lot of mana when you're drawing a lot of cards. So I haven't actually tested this version. But we were kind of I still need to build a sideboard, but this was kind of like a bigger version with Bring to Light, and you have access to Unmortigo in the main deck, where you can Unmortigo against the linear strategies, and you can also Bring to Light for Niv Mizzet to go a bit bigger. And then you actually have a couple of other 4 power creatures to trigger the Kiora. This version is what I played tested last night. It felt pretty good. So the way I'm thinking about this deck is this is like a Naya mid-range, Naya value deck that is trying to assemble Rokiric plus Kiora as like a combo. When you get these 2 cards going together, it's really, really powerful. It's going to bury your opponent. And with 4 Eladamri's calls, you're going to be very aggressively tutoring for Rokiric, and then hopefully you'll be able to either draw into the combo or like Bloodbraid into it. In addition, we also have a little bit of an Eladamri's Call package, being able to find, Fury for removal, Endurance for Graveyard Hate, Magus of the Moon. Game 1 is really nice. Magus of the Moon is like the interaction you have against the non-linear decks, which is pretty important in this format. But you also get a few extra 2 targets in the sideboard. Like you could get Orvar in response to Archon entering, which is pretty cool. You can get Sanctifier, Containment Priest, Drannith Magistrate, Knight of Autumn. Additionally, oh no, it's Dark Souls category. Thank you. Oh man, that's gonna. I hope that didn't get me too bad. Let's try to get in the habit of switching that. Okay. In addition, we're playing Justice Strike, because I do think we need a little bit of extra removal, and Justice Strike is a multicolor card for Rokiric that is almost just the Boros Terminate. It is target creature deals damage to itself equals to its power. This misses like Endurance, Ledger Shredder, Giver of Runes. I was trying to think about, I think it misses. It's really not very much. It mostly just kills Murktide, which is something that this archetype can, or these kind of decks can struggle with, is the card Murktide Regent. So that was pretty good. Justice Strike is so bad. I don't know, like, I don't really feel like Justice Strike is bad. It's like Terminate is currently like super playable, and the card is very, very, very close to Terminate. I just miss Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth is actually another really relevant one, huh? We'll see, we'll see. You can pitch it to Fury. Alright. Really hoping not to get my Wrenn and Six spell pierced, like usual. Could have maybe Manamorphosed first? What if that's ever correct? We do have the combo of Rokiric plus Kiora. It would obviously so good if my Wrenn and Six had resolved, though. No, I'm probably supposed to hold it for the Rokiric. Land would be nice. Okay, let's cycle the Manamorphose now. I think I make green-red just to try to high roll a Wrenn and Six. Have I tried building Asthma with Rokiric? I have. It's so just autopiloting to blue. Okay, happy to draw Jetmir's Garden. I have a couple times. I think that it's not very good. Is probably the short answer here. Remand. Well, Spell Pierce and Remand. Interesting. Rock and roll for 22 months. Thank you. 2 3-mana plays that combo for value seem kind of win more when there are others that win the game and don't see play, like Goblin Combo and Heliod Ballista. Those 2 combos do see play. But what's nice is that, like, okay, one thing is, like, it's very different when your combo pieces are, like, this, like, insanely powerful card that your entire deck is built around, and then, like, a general, like, okay ramp spell, you know what I mean? Obviously, underpowered ramp spell, but it's a bit different when, like, this card is incredibly strong on its own, and is really, really powered up by Kiora. I don't know that I would agree that, this is inherently win more. Maybe you could make the argument, though. F2P Engineers, this looks like a thank you. I also got to do it a few times, and it was sweet as hell. Are they really just playing Remand and Murktide? It's kind of, I think that's what's happening here, which is weird. Okay, take the trade. Valakut Stoneforge. Okay, there's something. They're doing something. Storm. I mean, they're playing Ragavan and actual counterspell. Neither card really usually sees much play in Storm. I get punished for the main deck Magus. Kiora seems underpowered, and you genuinely preach play good cards. Maybe Rokiric is good enough to get Kiora pass. Yeah, I don't know. So a lot of times when I say play good cards, it's, you know, I don't know. It can be a bit reductive, like, but like a lot of times, like, this is me, like, there's a bit of it. It's whenever the whole play good cards thing, it's like almost always like non-linear cards or cards that, oh, they have Prismari Command. What is happening? Cards that don't have like synergy or like particular synergy with the rest of the deck. They're just like underpowered fair cards. But when you have synergistic cards, that's when you get to register Kiora in your deck. Kiora's also like not that bad of a card. I don't know. It sees plenty of play in Pioneer. It's like makes 2 mana if you have Utopia Sprawl. It is not super weak. Petty Theft by Arbor Elf. Okay, I'm just like a little stun locked here too. Okay, Endurance. They only have 1 card in their hand. Okay, I think I'm going to go Kiora, play an Arbor Elf. That's why Goblins is underplayed. The deck is great. I mean, we play against it a lot. It seems very powerful when we play against it, and we played with it. It's great. The problem is Blue-Red Murktide is just such an alluring deck. Every modern player just has to jam Blue-Red Murktide all day, every day. Okay. Ooh, Justice Strike. I'm going to jam my Rokiric. I think it's obviously possible it gets countered again, maybe even somewhat likely. But now I'm going to hope that they cast their Borrower, then I can Justice Strike, draw a card. Ultra, the Twitch Prime, thank you. I think the biggest problem with your combos is Bloodbraid Rokiric going over 3 power. Yeah, I agree. I mean, Kiora would be pretty freaking sweet if all these other creatures had 4 power. I did look for alternate ways to build the deck, of course, and didn't find a better way. Awesome Eyes, very cool. But this is pretty sweet when it happens, and it's happening. Lord, the months, thank you. I wonder if it's worth having transport a sideboard into playsets and spells a Lucha Jack. Probably not. It sounds a little lost in the sauce to me. Check me. I'm gonna take a hit. Hoping no Wrenn and Six or Justice Strike. They hit a Fury, which cannot kill the Rokiric and cannot kill the Kiora. So probably go 1-3. And then I'll be able to... Why no block in the Ragavan? This is not protection from monocolored, it's hexproof from monocolored. And I would much rather not trade Rokiric for Ragavan on this board. Very common mistake. Alright, so cast Bloodbraid Elf, trigger Rokiric, draw a card off Kiora. Cascade into hopefully a multicolor spell, into Manamorphose. I think I make green-red. I'm just more likely to draw a Wrenn. Ooh, Fury's actually really sick here. Okay. Sadly, 1 mana short of casting another Bloodbraid Elf. I think I'll just go evoke Fury, kill their Fury, their Ragavan. Oh, I love Garruk's Pack Leader. My first ever FNM, I had Garruk's Pack Leader in my deck. Yeah, I mean, these two cards are just very, very powerful together. And obviously, Kiora is a little underpowered, but in a deck that's just like completely built around Rokiric and has 4 Eladamri's calls to get Rokiric, Kiora is not going to be that bad of a draw a lot of the time. Let's see, I might just like main phase Flashback Deluge. Bloodbraid Elf is a bit better when it comes with 2 4/4s and 2 extra cards. Is there a reasonable Anthem effect to get these 2 powers to 4s? Not really. You can tell me. You can play 3 mana Eladamri that gives your creatures +1/+0. I can kind of like briefly consider it for that purpose, but I don't know. It's okay. You just, you know, it's just okay. I think it's like Kiora goes off when you have Rokiric. It just, you know, is not that good otherwise, but has other text. Warcaller, I think the tier 1. Okay, so I'm going to cut my Magus. I'm going to cut my Furies, I think. I think they're playing Blue Moon with Ragavan. I'm going to bring in the rest of the Endurances, and then maybe like 2 Sanctifiers, 1 Sanctifier. I think I'll keep in 2 Justice Strikes for Murktide. We haven't seen Murktide yet. It's kind of hard to just completely ignore that card. Yeah, I know everything's only 3 power. I really tried to dig deep and find other 4 mana cards that, you know, like, so like you could be more in on Omnath, but the problem is like I don't know. It's like if you play Omnath, you can't play Magus, and so you have like no way to interact with like the, you know, the big mana combo decks. I mean, you could play blue, you could main deck like Dovin's Veto. I don't know. There's a few different ways you could go, I guess. The enchantment that gives everything Riot. I don't know. That card doesn't seem amazing, but you could play it. Okay, let's keep this. I guess we'll just put back Eladamri's Call. A really good hand, actually. I do have a lot of small dudes, but his brothers were not good versus Hammer. Are we fine against Hammer? You could play Brothers War on the sideboard. I don't know. This has happened like every day lately, and I have to say this every day. But this is like a brand new list that I've played like 4 matches of, and the sideboard could probably use some tweaks. But we're a Fury deck. We have Justice Strike in the sideboard. We have Boseiju for our Wrenn and Six. We have Knight of Autumn. You know, we have you know a decent main deck hedge against them, and we have reasonable cards in the sideboard. So you're gonna ice me? I don't know that, you know, it seems awkward to play Brothers War in your Arbor Elf Rokiric deck. Ooh, okay, so next turn we can go Kiora into Rokiric. But you could. I mean, we could try to go Kiora into Rokiric. My opponent's playing a lot of counter spells. Dang it. So yeah, so maybe I just jam a Bloodbraid Elf into 2 open mana here. The double ice? No! Stop! Literally stop. I guess I name red again? White? White. Surely they can't have Snapcaster Ice here. Yeah, I agree with 4 color being like less popular. They could cast a Rokiric. I agree with 4 color being less popular. I think that Goblins is just such a good choice. I mean, I'm actually really happy if they cast the Rokiric. Do not snap ice me. The 3rd fire ice. Okay. But if I draw, if this Kiora resolves, I get to go Kiora into Rokiric here. The deck is just Is It Monkey? Hard to tell exactly what they're doing. They're a blue-red Ragavan deck. Alright, a land would be really good to go Rokiric into Bloodbraid this turn, although they probably counter the Rokiric, right? Alright, so now we can just Bloodbraid Eladamri's Call. Maybe we'll hit a Kiora. Oh, we hit a Rokiric, okay, pretty good. Feels good to be casting Bloodbraid Elf again. Not a super surprising counterspell. Let's leave the Bloodbraid back to block. Might just get another Bloodbraid Elf with the Eladamri's Call. We'll see. What'd you say this deck's good and bad matchups are? I've only played like 4 matches. I was 3-1 with the deck, is feeling pretty good. And in general, I think that this deck will be good against, you know, fair grindy strategies and a bit worse against combo Cascade. Big mana. But you have you know, tools in those matchups. Discards Brotherhood End. Maybe I could also hold the Eladamri's Call, and I could try to just cast the Rokiric with Eladamri and you know, trigger it with Eladamri's Call. The Rokiric is just so unlikely to resolve. If I draw a land, I want to go Rokiric into Bloodbraid. Oh, I guess I could just grab Sanctifier en-Vec and then go Sanctifier plus Bloodbraid this turn. Ooh. Gotta get through those counter spells. Alright. Happy to have that get an Archmage Charm. Let's cast the Bloodbraid. Could maybe have just jammed the Endurance. It's like Endurance ain't too bad. I think I'll also target them. Shuffling a lot of gas back in the deck though. Not probably that relevant. Are they playing through the Reach? I don't know. We don't know like what like the big payoff is. They're obviously playing, you know, they're playing Deluge, they're playing Fires, they're playing Ragavan, but we don't know if they're just Blue Moon, if they are playing through the Breach. We'll find out. How many times were we hit by the Ragavan? Like 3 or 4? I think 3. Ugh, Deluge. I guess we can hopefully Endurance the flashback. You're feeling a Skiki? Maybe. I guess let me bait Counterspell with Endurance. I can't go Rokiric into Wrenn because I only have 1 red. The Golem plan does seem pretty good against my opponent. Although they do have Prismari command to deal with the Rokiric, but this should dodge most of the rest of their removal. They do need an untapped land also to be able to flash back the Deluge. Damn it. Discard another Deluge. Well, they've got 2 cards in their hand. Hopefully we draw some action. Don't know if really if that qualifies. Can pay for a Spell Pierce. So what's cool about this spot is we're putting our opponent down to 6, and my opponent can't flashback Deluge next turn. Otherwise, they just die to the attack plus Wrenn and Six ping. So we get to put the Deluges on the back foot for yet another turn. 2 cards in their hand. If they have Fury, and if they have nothing else besides the Deluges, they can maybe dig for a Fury right here. But they probably will do something else right now. Another copy of Wrenn and Six. I'd love some Breach in Modern again. I mean, honestly, like, Solitude is kind of like at an all-time low in Modern at the moment. Wow, that's, ambitious, I think. I don't know if that's the word I want to use. I think that's the word I want to use. So let's go to and upkeep the Endurance. If they respawn by flashing back Deluge, they almost definitely die. And so we get to tax that mana pretty well. Although if they like flash in the Borrower here, then I think just getting to like guarantee resolving this and getting those 2 Deluges is just too important. Would you return to Bloodbraid? I guess not. I mean, I just want to register freaking Braids in Borrower, but I guess if I put no choice, they're playing it as a deck. Changes updates elemental deck. I ended up changing the mana base to have more green-white lands and less red-white lands. Besides that, I think... Wow, we just got hit by Ragavan a million times. Got Fire Iced a bunch. Awesome. Weird start. Yeah, it feels good to be playing Rokiric again. Yeah, the deck techs are 15. This hand's like probably way too high upside to mulligan. Turn 1 Channeler, huh? So probably not gonna want to... Wow, triple Utopia Sprawl Arbor Elf. Or yeah, Utopia Sprawl Kiora is pretty cool. And Arbor Elf. So I think I just go Forest, Sprawl on green. Deck tech for Warcall. If you post a link in chat, I'd be happy to take a look. That's back. For those of you hating on Kiora, have you considered triple Utopia Sprawl draws? Got that Justice Strike. Are they gonna Spell Pierce this? I guess I just pay. I can also just play. Yeah, I think I'll pay. I could also just play another Utopia Sprawl and Arbor Elf to block, but I think I don't mind taking a hit from the Ragavan. Yeah, Warcall, I didn't see the link in the chat, but as soon as I see it, I'll take a look. There we go. Kadolpha White. There's gotta be something better to play than Charge. Okay, notably, Just Strike does miss Ledger Shredder. I really don't want to let them connive. We obviously also need a top deck. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go lead on to Manamorphose, red-green, see what we find. Another copy of Kiora. Put that on the stack. Let him connive. Is Kiora really so bad if everyone counters it on site too? Can't be that bad. Oh boy, I am now bluffing that I have black mana. I meant to choose red with this Utopia Sprawl. It's actually really bad because now I can't. I guess I can untap the Stomping Ground, but I meant to name red. Okay. Yeah, so I've definitely seen this archetype a few times. I think I would almost definitely just play the other Bushwhacker instead of the card Charge. Flipping a Justice Strike. Iteration, okay. Seasoned Pyromancer, I also think seems to be a little bit high on the mana curve. I'm also not sure how good you are at enabling Revolt for Countless Gear Renegade. Let's see, how many fetch lands do you have? You only have 7. I think you probably need to be playing like minimum 8 for Countless Gear Renegade. We can kind of circle back to that. Okay, game 2. Alright, let me bring in... So this matchup, I've been cutting the Magus, and I think I was leaving in 1 Fury as like an Eladamri's Call target, and then wanting to play like... I'm not sure if I wanted to play 3 Sanctifiers, or if I just wanted to... Oh, I didn't want to play the third Justice Strike, and then I was like unsure about Sanctifier, but I kind of don't want to go down too low on multicolor cards. I did just cut... just bring in a bunch of non-multicolor cards with the Endurances. They cut the Furies. I think let's do this. I really don't like Charge. There's a 2-mana 1/1 that makes a token that has flash. You could potentially play that over over Countless Gears Renegade and Seasoned Pyromancer. I think this is just, again, Subpire is a little too high on the curve. But like what's cool about that card is you get to flash it in, Force of Virtue, have 2/2 blockers if you want to, you know, play defense. I think that it. Yeah, I think I just like playing the other Bushwhacker over... Okay, let's keep this. Over the Charges. I also, like, I've never really been a big venerated Loxodon fan in Modern. I've seen it in action and just not really been super impressed by it. And it is obviously okay in this archetype, but, I guess I don't know if there's, you know, too much more to say about it other than I don't love it, but I don't love it. Not a card I typically like a lot, and I tend to find that this archetype is super cold to Fury decks, as I imagine you probably know. So maybe having Burnington Forge Tender in the sideboard is really important. I could see that. I could definitely see Forge Tender being more important than Sanctifier, although playing a combination of both is also fine. So maybe like 3 Forge Tenders cutting like the, or maybe I would maybe even just jam 4 cutting the Blossoming Columns and Marches. It's like nice on your mana curve. It's just kind of nice in general. Any chances Red to cut some Arbor Elves? Maybe. I'm definitely hoping to draw a bit more action this game. Yeah, I don't... now that I'm getting kind of flooded, I don't hate the idea of cutting Mana Dorks. Keep the Triumph in the deck to cycle. Okay, there's Eladamri's Call. So in theory, I could Eladamri's Call, Rokiric, and Justice Strike. The problem with that line is that my opponent has Counterspell up. So let me just pass with Eladamri's Call at the ready. Could attack with Arbor Elf, I guess. I think I'm just okay to chill. Rokiric in play against Murktide is really strong. They have almost no ways to remove it, by the way. I'll trade if they attack. Okay, my opponent missed their land drop, so I'll grab a Rokiric. Interesting. The Justice Strike makes the same thing. Yeah, it does miss a few cards. Oh, no. No. It does miss a few cards, but this archetype struggles against the card Murktide Regent. It's good against Hammer, too. It answers most of the things in the format. Haunter, 29 months, thank you. Illusions of the 21, thank you as well. The Charges are 1-mana anthems to pitch to forest, and they're bad sometimes, which goes clunky. I mean, I don't know. The card quality seems pretty bad with the card charge. You could maybe do a deep dive and try to find something else, but why not play Rokiric? My opponent has 2 open mana. Oh, play Rokiric post combat. Oh, damn it, sorry. I don't know why I totally spaced. So maybe, hopefully they counter this endurance. I think they're like somewhat forced to. Oh, maybe not. Oh, damn it, sorry chat. I think I'll start attacking though. We could have the general in play. Opponent's still doing nothing. They keep a card on top, so probably a land. Is a land. Maybe we should be attacking the Arbor Elves too. Second Justice Strike. Wow, snapping off the trade. Yeah, I mean, they so obviously have counter magic. I'm gonna chill here. I can still go Kiora or Rokiric into Justice Strike. Kiora 10-tap endurance. That puts Kiora into Unholy Heat range pretty unnecessarily, I think. I enjoy fruit. 19 months. I can thank you. Yeah, New Year's, new brews. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire off one of our Justice Strikes right now. Well, no, we could actually just like leave the endurance untapped. We could attack and then untap endurance. No delirium and 2 Kioras. Yeah, but it's also like you're just playing around a Ragavan that's probably not there. You just don't have to. We're down to just 6. Weird game. Playing a big Murktide. With Counterspell up. Alright, let's see if we can do anything about this. Any world where we don't just bait the Counterspell with Rokiric? I mean, maybe I can Endurance. There's also a world where my opponent cracks Fetchland end of turn, and I get to respond with Justice Strike. Yeah, let's just take this hit. End of turn Endurance. Maybe that gets the counterspell out of the hand. They're at 6, so they have to be somewhat worried about this. Okay, and then... now we play a Rokiric. Eats another counterspell. But we get to Justice Strike. They just have 3 counterspells, good beats. Hurts. Not gonna lie, that line seemed bad. What line? The endurance end of turn, or the bait out the counterspell with Rokiric, maybe? I don't know, that seems fine. They had the 3rd counterspell. I'll play it myself last turn. Maybe. Yeah, my opponent's hand was definitely really hard to play through. I just highly like that they had a lot of interaction there. I guess, I mean, if they have a lot of interaction, it's just going to be really tough to play through no matter what. Not playing the Rokiric earlier was a big problem. I like really strongly disagree that it was right to jam the Rokiric earlier. There was like 4 or 5 turns where my opponent just didn't get to use their mana and didn't get to surveil into more lands because I didn't play the Rokiric. In this spot where my opponent has so many more cards in hands than me, like, it's going to be very, very difficult to fight through this wall of counterspells and interaction and card advantage no matter what. And I took a line that I thought was like capable of beating 2 counterspells, and they had 3, and it just feels a little bit, you know. I just, I don't know, chat. The turn where they 2-mana untapped, you probably should have been a turn of Rokiric followed by Justrike when they counter Rokiric first. So that is what people I assume are suggesting I should have done instead. Obviously, I punted when I didn't cast the Rokiric, but I'm assuming what people are saying by this line was bad. They're saying I should have played Rokiric then Justice Strike. I took a line that instead was capable of beating 2 counter spells instead of 3, and they had the third one. But I don't feel like my line was that bad, and I don't know. We can move on. I think we just jammed the Rokiric. I mean, it's kind of bad against Reflector Mage. They did name Human. Maybe just Wrenn and Six ping this turn is fine. I'll just play the Rokiric. Spike just feeds the dead pickers by responding this much. People, this is always one of my least favorite comments too, where like, this Twitch chat for like how big it is great. We have a really like relaxed and like productive Twitch chat where we can actually have a conversation. The only reason that it can be like this is when the conversations get derailed and the conversations become unproductive like this. The only reason we can continue to have this like productive chat is because I nitpick, because I talk back, and I don't just sit here reading it, taking psychic damage, ignoring it, you know what I mean, and just letting it get like fester and get worse. And sometimes there's just comments like this, like Spike is just feeding into it. Like, no, I'm managing my Twitch chat. Is this a Lutri deck tech? I don't know. Lutri deck techs are really tough to get feedback on. Okay, I don't know what my opponent's doing. Lutri deck techs are really tough to get feedback on, since with Lutri decks you can really do whatever you want. The Enchantress? I feel like they're on like F&M homebrew here. Yeah, chat is we have a great chat for how large it is. We have productive conversations all day, and I don't know. I'm just giving feedback. I mean, you got all the good ones in here. I'm just trying to think if there's like any obvious upgrades for what you have. I might play 22 lands. I'd probably cut the Obliterating Bolt, which seems like the worst card for the 22nd land. Second copy of Banishing Light. When are you gonna let me off your chain? So released by true moderating putters. I mean, if anything, the chat is like even over moderated. I'm not bothered, Oh yeah, we might actually get Quasali Ambushed, huh? I mean, if they have it, they can have it. Well, I guess we get to hold up Justice Strike here. Well, someone to ban someone. I probably ban like maybe 1 or 2 people a month. It's very rare. Which is great, The chat is really chill. Yeah, I honestly can't see how like I would really want to change very much to just build straight blue-red Lutri. Besides just cutting the Obliterating Bolt for like just one more land, whatever. Another Cascade Bluffs maybe. I will say though that like typically for Lutri decks, I think it's better to be like 3 colors minimum because your overall card quality becomes higher, which I think is important. But the list seems fine also. Getting to play moons is like getting to play 2 moons is a reason to be straight blue-red at least. Is Banishing Light good? No, my opponent is just playing F&M homebrew. We're in the 1-1 bracket. This is also like part of the reason why I like to drop at 0-2, 1-2 is this is the bracket you enter a lot of the time. Sometimes you play against it, when you're 1-1, 0-0. Is Kiora mostly used for card advantage? Yeah, the idea is that Kiora plus Rokiric is nuts. Is running Justice Strike for the sole purpose of being a removal spell that also makes a 4/4 worth it over something like Solitude? Well, in this deck, if you played Solitude, you have a total of 9 white cards, including 1 Solitude, 8 white cards plus any number of Solitude. And the problem is, like, this deck is, like, completely built around Rokiric. Rokiric is not a very good card to pitch to Solitude. It's also true, like, this kills Murktide, so does Solitude, but, you just don't really have the cards to pitch. So I would be open to other options, but being multicolor is relevant. You do need to have a really high density of multicolor cards. This also doesn't miss very much. There are a few cards it misses. Ledger Shredder is probably the most relevant one. But Murktide is also super popular, and Naya is a color combo that, like, is weak to Murktide Regent. This card is not quite Terminate, but Terminate is pretty good, and this card is pretty close to Terminate. But yeah, isn't Shardless good in this deck? Well, you have to splash another color for Shardless Agent. You could play Shardless. Bloodbraid is a lot better, being able to hit your 3 drops, I think. Shy, the 13 months, thank you. We're gonna get Mana Tithed. Yeah, a lot of slow opponents lately. I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's winter break. Did you redeem a deck tech, Felly? If you didn't, you can type !deck tech to see if you can get me to look at the list. Okay. Well, tank, concede. I'm gonna bring. My opponent seems to be some kind of, like, weird. I don't know. I'm just gonna bring in the Disenchants, and I'm gonna cut my Justice Strikes. I mean, they did show me Esper Sentinel, so they also went Cavern on Humans. So maybe I'll leave all these in. Could play like 1 Justice Strike. I don't think Justice Strike makes the Germ XL itself because it's just combat damage for Germ. Can you play Fiery Justice in the board for Justice Tribal? You could play Fiery Justice, yeah. Did your deck tech donut go through? I see it now. Yeah, I just missed it at first. It's hard to keep track when I'm yelling at everybody. Secret Door. 1 copy of Secret Door. 4 mana of Ancient Dungeon. So you're going to make infinite mana, then Secret Doorum. You can make infinite mana with Pili Pala. How do you search up the door? The Inventor's Fair? Expedition map for Inventor's Fair. So Saga for map for fair for door. It's kind of cute. I'm not sure why you wouldn't just play more Ballistas, though. Okay, so this is a 1-drop that blocks Ragavan. That is kind of nice, I guess. Okay, why do we only have 3 Pillow Palas? Oh boy. It really feels like this deck used to play Whir of Invention and just doesn't anymore. But Whir seems so freaking sick in this deck. You can Whir for Secret Door, which you can't Whir for Ballista. You can Whir for your Pili Pala. You can Whir... So the combo is Grand Architect Pala, right? Oh, this isn't an artifact creature. I thought it was. Okay, on the draw for whatever this matchup is. I would look at Pioneer ones. I really just do Modern Pioneer because I don't play any other formats at the moment. I barely play Pioneer these days. Okay, you like Architect doesn't produce mana for Whir. I mean, I think that's okay. Like, to be honest, these, like, the Chief Engineer doesn't even seem very good. Literally, what is my opponent doing over there? I'm so confused. Name Red, I think. Game 1, my opponent went Cavern on Humans, played an Esper Sentinel, and then they cast 2 Banishing Lights in a portable hole and conceded. Like, you're, like, your art, like, I don't know, the Chief Engineers don't have much to convoke into, right? You can convoke into like 1 mana for a chip. You can help cast Thought Monitor, but in theory Thought Monitor should be pretty cheap anyways. You just have a bunch of 1-drops. Doc, thank you for the 18 months, appreciate you. I'd love to play the Kiora this turn, but we've gotten Thaliad. Let me just hold up the Eladamri's Calm. Yeah, I really feel like these Chief Engineers just are not doing enough here. I think it doesn't come with Pili-Pala. You just don't have much to like ramp into with them. You have to play 4 Pili-Palas in your Pili-Pala combo deck though. I think that this is just mandatory. So I'd love to draw a red card here because I want to be able to play Rokiric this turn. I didn't draw the red card. I think I'm probably just supposed to jam the Rokiric anyways. Could get kind of dangerous, but my opponent didn't do anything else with their 2 mana last turn. And just like if you're gonna play all these 1-ofs, like the I think that I want to cut like the Ballista, or maybe you need to play 2 Wincons. But like I love that Secret Door blocks Ragavan. I love that it's an 0/4. I love that you can work for it as a win con, but you can't do it for Ballista. I guess I also don't know why you're playing all these Chromatic Stars now that I think about it. The deck is like very tough to build. I do feel like you have something here. Taking 6. Alright, we'll just take 6. They can't Coco. Thalia wasn't in play at the time of Sacred Sprawl. Yeah. Yeah, but maybe we should have done that anyway, so we could go Kiora on tap. Bomb. Daniel with the 10 months, Mark with the 14, Existus with the 13. Thank you. Okay, so drawing a Wrenn and Six is interesting. We can do a few different things with it. Togo, thank you for the raid. Hope you're doing well today. They're responding to me cracking my fetch. Maybe I should have played Boseiju. I don't know. Hallowed Moonlight. Okay. So Hallowed Moonlight stops me from getting any Rokiric triggers. They probably should have waited for a Rokiric trigger to go on the stack, because now I could just Fury. Yeah, play around Dryad Arbor. Another thing I like about Secret Door is that it convokes for War of Invention. So for the most part, I want to play like at least 2 doors, maybe 3. Play no Chief Engineers. Play 4 Pili-Pala. Play 4 War of Invention. I also don't think I think that the Witching Wells and Stars are like that split is really interesting. I don't know what's better, but I don't know that you need 7 of these effects. I'd be willing to play like closer to 6. I can definitely tell like a lot of like love and care has been put into the list too. But like especially like we're being able to get 1000-year elixir, or is 1000-year elixir better than Lightning Greaves? Greaves is probably better. Yeah, Lightning Greaves has to be better. Yeah, play Greaves instead. Okay, they are playing Coco. But their deck has so many non-creature spells. Like, their deck, I don't know. We saw 2 Banishing Lights, they have Hallowed Moonlight, they have Portable Hole. I don't know what's going on. Any thoughts on killing both Champion, then picking Thalia or something? I mean, with my hand being, like, 2 non-creature spells I want to play next turn, and I'm going to be drawing a lot of cards, I think that this is better, but I don't hate your line. Okay, this Sanctifier has pro red. All of my creatures I'm making are gonna be red. Do I have any out to that Sanctifier right now? I think I cut the Endurance. I think I'm just dead to the 3/3 Sanctifier. The tokens are red. The tokens are red and white. I guess this stars the clear way for chop chip value and we don't have bobble. Maybe. What a match, huh? They might not realize. As many people in chat didn't realize. Oh! We have Arbor Elves. Sick. I think I should probably play another Kiora here. Cycle 4/4. So we can Eladamri's call for another Arbor Elf next turn, maybe? I'm just gonna ping my opponent. Okay, Rosie, thanks. I did miss it. A lot of deck techs today. I haven't had many lately. Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, this looks cool. Keep putting some love in that deck. You'll get there. If you, yeah, post in the chat, Daniel. I'll take a look. Thank you, WTF-A54. How'd you like the stream? 1/1, first strike, ward 1, disturb 4. Human cleric, flying first strike. Each creature you control has ward 1. Huh. Never seen this card. It's not that bad. You got Knight in? Oh, right, I forgot about the Knight. Right. Because they showed me all these freaking Banishing Lights. Ah. That's a Brutal Cathar, though. Oh, they exiled a token. They exiled a token. Oh, boy. They don't know. They don't know. I think I still need to Eladamri's call for Knight of Autumn, though. Just to gain life. We're gonna have to draw a lot of cards, though. Yeah, if they had exiled the Arbor Elf, these are red tokens, and they could have attacked with a Sanctifier to kill me. Dr. Muggy, 14 months. I mean, my opponent also seems like it. To be honest, it kind of looks like they're coming from like Pioneer or Historic, and they just like tried to build a Humans deck for the first time in Modern. So it does seem like they're like relatively inexperienced. Yeah, the client is also not doing them any favors. My opponent just gonna... last time I cast Eladamri's Call with Rokiric, Kiora in play, my opponent just conceded. I don't know if they're... I mean, they have a mana up. They have Path Deck sign. So I type with the 26 months, thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen... I guess these are also the tokens IRL. These are kind of cheesy. Guess they look like they do in the art. Like, yeah, why aren't they more colorful? Like, why aren't they, like, silver and gold, Boros-plated golems? You didn't have time to paint them? General Rokiric is a Warhammer player that, like, says, do we really have to paint our minis? Do we really have to paint our minis to play with them? We can still just do the same thing. They don't need paint on them for me to play, right? Yeah, Rosie, you have to post a link in the chat. There's a deck tech in the queue. I haven't seen it at all. If any mods saw it, want to help me out, or wants to be reposted. But I can't copy paste from notification view. Thank you, Rosie. Okay, opponent lets the Eladamri's Call resolve. Of course, right as soon as we get the deck tech. As soon as we get the deck tech. Yeah, we'll get the Knight of Autumn here. Alright, that was good enough. 2-1. Hardened Scales definitely seems like a solid upgrade, although it is a problem that Scales doesn't upgrade your energy counters, just your +1 counters, I believe. Obviously pretty good Long Tusk Cub. But I think for the, you know, this honestly looks very similar to like how Pioneer decks looked at the beginning of Pioneer. Like they were very much like old standard deck plus like another card that wasn't legal at the time. And maybe we can like look back and wish that this is still what Pioneer was, but I do think for the most part I don't love like this deck is, I think, going to be like pretty weak against like a lot of the top strategies in the format. I think it's going to be soft to Rakdos. I think it's going to be soft to mono green. I think it's going to be soft to mono white too. They're literally gilded. There's a thin layer of red and white around the card, not on the golem. Right. I think we get another Bloodbraid Elf. Could get Magus to the moon, just slam Magus. Don't hate that. Yeah, Tune is pretty weak too, unfortunately. Just trying to think. I remember I saw Doomake had a pretty good scales list recently, or our scales variant I liked. But like, I think what you need to do is you need to like move away from the energy synergies. You need to be like straight black green instead of Sultai. That's where I would start, straight black green instead of Sultai, where your mana's a lot better. You get access to a lot of good utility lands. You get to be on the Winding Constrictor and Hardened Scales for some redundancy. That turn 3 Teferi. So if I draw a red card, I can Fury, pitch, kill the Teferi. I can also just get written, like, forgo the Cascade, so I can just kill with the Bloodbraid this turn, which I think is gotta be what we do. So no Kiora for us. I think waiting a turn is probably not correct to hardcast the Fury. Green Plate Rampager, Defiler. Yeah, that was it. So there's Green Belt Rampager plus Defiler Vigor was awesome. Defiler Vigor is really cool with Hardened Scales. You get to double the counters on everything. And with Green Belt Rampager, you get to pay zero mana for your another Bloodbraid. You get to play 0 mana for your Green Belt Rampager, and then just keep casting it over and over to get cards in play or counters in play. And I think that's the direction I would go. Probably just gonna ping him. So maybe if someone can find that the Doomake list, I would definitely get some inspiration there. I like splashing green for Constrictor, splashing white for the Centaur Constrictor are both reasonable. Dave the 26th month, thank you. Can I ask you 2 questions about Shadow? You could ask me 1 question about you. Yeah, sure. I might not answer them, but I'll do my best to see them and read them. Y'all, subscribe, thank you. I mean, they didn't verdict me this turn, so I think I'm just supposed to jam another Bloodbraid into Justice Strike. Obviously, worse when there are no creatures in play, huh? One Leyline Binding. If they don't have a second removal spell, they're in pretty bad shape, though. 2 bindings. Would a Power Cup Kiln Fiend need to be modern playable? I don't know. Kiln Fiend's really not that far away. Like, Sprite Dragon is seeing, like, a solid amount of play in the Prowess deck, which is, like, still, like, criminally underplayed for how good Prowess is. Okay, so let's attack with the Bloodbraid Elf. They'll probably hardcast Solitude, and then I will, oh, they didn't block. I mean, I guess they're just gonna start Solitude. Then I'll go Kiora into Fury. And, pick up a land with Duran. Fury still doesn't have 4 power, huh? Why do people not play Dismember anymore? Unholy Heat is really... Unholy Heat, Bolt, and Push typically are better removal spells. So like one big thing about Grixis Shadow is like a lot of people have like really antiquated opinions on the deck, in my opinion, where like the first iterations of Death Shadow were very much built around the card and like losing as much life as possible, digging for Death Shadow and playing it. Death Shadow is they're gonna ending on 5. Shadow is like not really so much about just playing a Shadow and resolving it. It's more about like just Shadow being an additionally so we get to go Boseiju, Leyline Binding, attack for 3, ping them for 1 if this connects. Although maybe it's better to just Boseiju the other binding. Let's go. What a top deck. Wow. Exciting top deck. So let's get these Justice Strikes out of here. I think I want to bring in 2 Boseijus, but I also want to cut a land. And then play a Knight of Autumn, and then maybe like 2 Fury, 3 Endurance. So like it's like the Death Shadow deck. Shadow is like an additional good threat in your like low to the ground tempo deck, rather than you just being all built around it. Shadow is like has its own strengths, of course, but is not like particularly much stronger than Ragavan or Channeler or Ledger Shredder or Underworld Breach. And so like you just don't need to be like so all in on it because it's good by itself and have to play Dismember. Can you keep returning green bot Rampager if we get 2 energy counters? You can't, no. So what's cool about the Rampager tech is that if you have a Long Tusk Cub or another energy sink like the 3 mana vehicle, then you get to like dump +1 counters into, or dump energy into that so you can keep Rampaging. But you also don't need to Rampager that many times. Which is more dominant in the meta, Footfalls or Creativity? I like the idea of Creativity with the Spice of Emrakul. I don't know which is necessarily... They're probably... Rhinos and Creativity are probably about the same power level-wise, in my opinion, at the moment. Maybe I should have left myself the option to Eladamri's Call, although I don't really know what else I'd be calling for. Gonna jam the Endurance. David, thank you for the 17 months. Appreciate you. Oh, yeah, maybe I would call for Magus. I don't know. Magus is so risky in this matchup, though. Because they just have Solitude. So I'm going to bounce the Endurance. How's the shadow testing been? I mean, I haven't like been playing any more of it really. I've been like deep in the sauce lately and loving it. I don't know. I think I would probably personally play Creativity over Rhinos, but I think that you could play either pretty reasonably. I think they're close. I think Rhinos is like really underplayed, and I think that to a big extent, like a big part of the reason why Rhinos is underplayed is people are burned out on it. It's like a deck that has super repetitive play patterns, and my understanding is that a lot of people are kind of tired of jamming it. But if you are loving the Rhinos, I encourage you to embrace that because you'll win a lot. So I'm probably just going to Eladamri's Call for another Bloodbraid. We'll see. Am I going to upload the Dark Souls attempts to YouTube? I don't, at the time, right now I think no. Where it would really be bad for my algorithm. And it's not going to be that interesting to watch either, I think. There's like a lot of like, it's going to be very repetitive and like to some extent, kind of boring. Okay, I think with them getting the verdict though, let me now Eladamri's Call for Rokiric. The VOD will be available though here on Twitch if you do want to come back and watch it, but I just don't really feel like there's a good reason to upload like just the raw attempts to YouTube. I may do some like clip compilation stuff. It just doesn't feel like the right thing, unfortunately. Okay, do I Manamorphose now? I think no. I think there's a chance they don't verdict if they have verdict here, they may like wait a turn. I can like surprise them with double Manamorphose on tap, attack for 11. Yeah, it's also, I agree that it's better to watch live. But you know, my opinion may change. I know it's more convenient to watch on YouTube, which is obviously like why. Oh wow, into Eladamri's call. Rokiric is so powerful. Yeah, I could do a second YouTube channel. Here's another thing though. It's like, you know, especially lately, I've been doing like 10-hour days every day, like 7 days a week. Obviously, a big part of that is like the Dark Souls prep has been. Will they Moonlight now? The Dark Souls prep is like definitely been time consuming, but I could have had another Manamorphose. Damn you. It's definitely been time consuming, and it'll get better. But it's just you know. It's just hard to do much extra than what I currently do. I currently do a lot. I'm busy all day, and there's always like other things you can do. Make an extra channel, download the VOD, edit it, upload it every day. But you just have to like, you know, as a content creator, you just have to spend your energy the best you can. Yeah, I didn't want to not get the golems, so I'm just holding these. Okay, there's our Kiora. So I just grab another Bloodbraid. Could get an Endurance too. Bit worried about a Solitude. Very happy to draw this, although I do only have one basic fetchable left. That's okay. You could, I think you could Magus here. I don't know. I think that this is the best. Cause like I want to have a backup Bloodbraid if they do verdict me, you know, to have the haste. Oh, I love this combo so much. Although it didn't hit a multicolor card, sadly. I do have a backup Rokiric in my hand, so I do think I'm just supposed to send. Are there no one-mana multicolor spells worth playing in Modern? Not really, they're all pretty bad. Like, multicolor spells, like, by nature are all one-mana hybrid cards. You know, you can't have two regular colored mana. And so usually hybrid cards, by, like, design philosophy, need to be a little bit weaker. They need to be a little bit weaker so that because they're more versatile because you can play them in more decks, and so your choices are like Safe Right Quest, Judges, Familiar, Dryad, Militant. None of these cards you really want to register. Yeah, Deathred Shaman would be the big notable exception to that rule, but also not in Modern. Yeah, Figure of Destiny, pretty dopey, huh? It's got, yeah, guttural response is legal. It's not very good, I think. Alright, so they need untapped land plus verdict. Yeah, Dread Cantor is also like really weak. You know, it's just not something you want to play here, I think. Okay, 3-1. Would it make sense to have someone to manage my YouTube content? I already do have someone that manages my YouTube content, which saves me so much time, it's crazy. Alright, pretty solid hand. I feel like Hammer's positioned. I mean, Hammer's kind of always okay. So, like, Brotherhood End is definitely a big net negative for Hammer. Definitely a big net negative for Hammer, but still a deck that I think is reasonable. So likely up against Scam here. How can you say blue-white control is good and has best removal if it can't beat fair creature-based decks like these? Blue-white can beat this deck. I don't know. I have freaking Bloodbraid Elf. Bloodbraid is overpowered. What can I say? I guess all I can say is, you know, get good. I don't know. So like blue-white players and Amulet Titan players are like just so opposite. Where Blue-white players, they just want to like have 100% win rate against everything. They just want to be in control, but you'll lose sometimes when you draw worse than your opponent, just like any other deck in Magic. They just want to be in control. What is this advantage over the use of 4-color version? So it's faster because you have the mana acceleration, and then you have like the Kiora Rokiric combo, which you can't really play without Utopia Sprawl, I think, which you can't really play in the Chalice version, or you could, but I think this version's a bit better. It's a big difference. Because they have a Blood Moon here. We have the Manamorphoses. Usually we're okay against Blood Moon, although I didn't fetch a basic forest. Maybe I should have. Although I didn't know. I guess they did go turn 1 Ragavan. Just trying to think if I want to fire off a Manamorphose. I think I can fire off one. Make green-white. I said I'm purged because of Wrens and Owls. Thought it was a mistake. I mean, having like at least one purge is fine against any Wrenn and Six deck, I think. Robocop, 7 months, thank you. I think the Rise and Shine deck would be like a fine FNM deck, JS. I wouldn't really recommend it for a bigger tournament, though. Yeah, I know. Nice Arbor Elf. They take the Manamorphose. If they block the 1/1, I get to ping the Grief with Wrenn and Six. Dang it. Alright, let's just rip another Fury off the top. We got 3 more of them in the deck. Basic Forest, Manamorphose. How about Magus of the Moon? Can double block. Their moon effect a little bit better than mine at the moment. Yeah, actual factual Hill Giant. Basic Forest? I don't mind if I do. I don't mind if I do. Into Utopia Sprawl for white. I can't block with the Bloodbraid Elf, so I guess I attack. Maybe a little too late. Yo-Yo Spirit. Could block actually all along. What's the best top deck? Rokiric is pretty good because we get to trigger with the Wrenn and Six. But another Bloodbraid probably. Fury's the best top deck. Sorry, it's easily Fury. So I have to go Justice Strike, a Voidwalker, and then I think it makes more sense to hold the Wrenn as a multicolor card for Rokiric than it does to just jam it. Easily Queen's Gambit. The sweet combo of Blood Moon, Stone Rain. The last time I tried to mess with that was before Wrenn and Six was printed, I think. Right. Tough stuff. I guess I could have got Forest instead of Temple Garden. That being said, we got a bunch of Sanctifier and Vex on our sideboard today. Feeling nice about that. We got this Magus of the Moon. Definitely, I think I'm interested in trimming Kiora, trimming Arbor Elf. I probably want a third Justice Strike. I think I could play 1 Endurance as an Eladamri's call target too. Probably don't want more than that. It's hard to jump 2 copies of Kiora, so I think I'll go down 2. Just 2. Wrenn and Six, Ghost Quarter, Boom Bust. What say ye? Wrenn and Six, Ghost Quarter. Oh man, I was Wrenn and Six Ghost Quartering people when MH1 first came out. It's very slow. Priest seems acceptable. I've never tried Containment Priest against Scam. It's probably a little slow. Sanctifier also stops the scam stuff, but, you know, a bit better, right? So we can't turn to Sanctifier, but I will just go ahead and play the Arbor Elf on turn 1. Could have a basic forest. Yeah, Priest stops the Undying effect. It also, like, I don't think it stops Voidwalker at all. Yeah, you cast off Voidwalker. It doesn't do anything against that. Push, okay. So a fetch land would be a really nice draw. It's a fetch land. Well, I guess I'm gonna play Sacred Foundry this turn, plus, and then get a Plains, pick up the Plains next turn. That will be pretty good against Blood Moon. Oh wow, so they're just Ragavan with Undying up, but the Sanctifier is such a crazy blowout here. Although maybe it's better to just plus the Wrenn, because the Ragavan isn't doing anything. I guess that makes more sense. Sorry, Avian. The scam players. Oh, nobody listens to you when I say just play Sanctifier and against scam. The blue-white player's like, oh, I need to win 100% against scam, which is just not gonna happen. The matchup's, you know, not that good. All right. I'm gonna Eladamri's Call this turn. I think I'm gonna Eladamri's Call and cast the Rokiric now. It's a little bit worse against Terminate, but it's better against Thoughtseize, and they're gonna get to terminate it anyways. Potentially. Oh, whoops. Sorry, I forgot. I don't know why I was thinking I could. My monkey brain is like, I'm tapping Sacred Foundry here. I'm tapping Sacred Foundry, so that means that I can cast the Rokiric, because I'm tapping a Sacred Foundry for a Boros card. Which is usually true. Ticking up for the Rimblum. They discard no cards to the Fable. That's bad. That's usually not very good. And they have the Thoughtseize. Oh, they discarded 2 with their Sanctifier. Okay, they discarded 2 Undying Malice. That makes way more sense. Voidwalker is one of the best ways to beat a Sanctifier. Wow, that was I think the wrong pick. Maybe they just have Terminate in their hand, but if I draw any multicolor card, I'm feeling pretty good. And that is technically any multicolor card. I think I'll go ahead and cast it. 0 or 3 mana, 4/4 draw card is not too bad here. Alright, it's another multicolor spell. I think I'm gonna plus so I can try to get a Rimblum. So like this is obviously like worse against like another against a Terminate, but I don't know, it seems okay also. I guess the Rimblum is not very good into the Voidwalker, but I can like maybe Rimblum, Eladamri's Call for Fury, get rid of the Voidwalker. Alright, is this not fake? I thought that this was Void Counter. Maybe it was Sanctified instead. Oh, it was Sanctified instead. I get to choose the replacement effect, and I just always choose Sanctifier. So they get to Tech the Wrenn. We get to eat the Goblin Shaman. So they're throwing away the Goblin Shaman for a treasure token, presumably so they can hardcast Fury, and then assemble Reflection plus Fury. And so presumably they'll kill just the Wrenn. That's fine. I have a second Wrenn here. Maybe we should have pinged last turn. Well, don't love drawing a land. Land. Be aggressive. Could untap the Sanctifier. Yeah, Kiora is multicolor, so it does general. It does trigger Rokiric. Nice that the Kiora's at 5, so if they want to kill it, they have to attack with the Voidwalker and copy the Fury. Start off with the Seasoned Pyromancer. Discarding Feign Death Fury. Play land for turn. Attack Kiora. Makes sense. Two probably. We have a lot of good top decks. Eladamri's Call, Bloodbraid, Fury. Any multicolored card comes with a 4/4. 3 lands in a row. Can't really attack. Only playing 20 lands in the deck. Ah, damn it. That's huge. Makes so many of my top decks worse. That being said, if I draw a Fury and it can kill Voidwalker Reflection, the Sanctifier has the board like relatively locked up. We also have 3 more Eladamri's Calls, so we have seven outs to draw Fury. I think that thinning is a bit more relevant than my life total here. Maybe that's like never the case, but I really need to like slam a Fury right now. We have 20 lands in the deck, but we also have 4 Utopia Sprawls, so maybe I should have mentioned that. Well, I think my opponent can just go copy Fury, Alpha Strike. Something wrong with Stream Decker? If you're asking, there almost definitely is. Yeah, the Magic Gods have not been with us this game. Yeah. So block here, take. Alright, that. Okay. 3-2 that league. Obviously not the worst showing. Let's run it back. What's my MTGO rating? Over 2,000. It's only ever been over 2,000 like one time.